Wherever you go in the world, you will see the Golden Arches. With roughly 42,000 restaurants across 110 countries, they sell on an average 75 burgers a second, or about 6.48 million burgers a day. But how did this fast food giant grow from a single small restaurant to a global empire serving billions? Today we're diving into the incredible story of how McDonald's became a McEmpire. Let's go. It all started in San Bernardino, California in 1940 with two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, when they opened a drive-thru barbecue joint called McDonald Barbecue. It had 25 menu items, roller skating car hops, and a full-service layout. And that sounds pretty fun, but until they realized that the profit margins were terrible. Service was slow, labor was expensive, and the kitchen setup was chaotic. So in 1948, they shut it all down and tried something radical. They cut the menu, they cut the staff, and they sped up the service. They simplified everything. Just burgers, fries, and milkshakes, and they launched the Speedy Service System, an assembly line approach to food that prioritized speed, consistency, and volume. There was just 9 core items on the menu. No waiters, no plates, just fast, affordable food. And the mascot? It was Speedy, a wide-eyed cartoon chef with a hamburger for a head. Their new system cut wait times, slashed costs, and started churning out burgers at an insane pace. And as a result, the customers loved it, and they started forming lines around the block. Now we jump to 1954, and we're introduced to Ray Kroc. He's 52 years old, and he's traveling the country as a milkshake machine salesman. What's his product? It's the multi-mixer. It's a machine that can make 5 milkshakes at once. Now, typically, a restaurant will order one of these, but this small burger joint in San Bernardino, California, well, they just ordered 8. Now, this is an unusually large order, and it piques Ray's curiosity, so he takes the time and he travels down to the restaurant. What he finds isn't some flashy big city chain. It's a small, fast, no-nonsense restaurant run by the McDonald's brothers. Their restaurant is a well-oiled machine. Their lines move fast, the food is hot, cheap, and identical, and the customers are in and out in minutes. Ray was absolutely stunned by this, because he had never seen anything like it. And he thought to himself, if this model works here, it could potentially work everywhere. So he convinced the brothers to have a meeting, and over several conversations, Ray pushed one big idea: franchising. Now, the brothers initially are hesitant because they tried franchising in the past, and it failed because they couldn't keep the quality consistent. But Ray is relentless. He offers to handle the franchising himself, and he won't just sell the concept, he'll protect it, and he positions himself as the gatekeeper, the guy who will scale their system without compromising it. And the brothers agree, but with limitations, because they still want control. Now, in the moment, Ray does not care, because he simply wants in. So in 1955, Ray launches the Franchise Realty Corporation and opens the first official McDonald's franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois. Now, this isn't just another restaurant. This is the prototype for every McDonald's to come, because he standardizes everything. The same grill times, the same fry thickness, the same cup size, the same packaging. He creates manuals, checklists, and he even runs training programs so franchisees can follow the same system. Now, for now, Ray is just a partner, but he's positioning himself to be the face, the architect, and more importantly, the future of McDonald's. By the early 1960s, the cracks were starting to show. Now, Ray still had big dreams, hundreds of locations, coast to coast, maybe even global domination. But the McDonald's brothers, they wanted to keep things small, local, manageable. They were proud of their system, but they didn't want to lose control. And, quite frankly, they were tired. Now, Ray saw them as a bottleneck holding the company back. So in 1961, he made his move. He offered to buy them out for $2.7 million, or about $27 million today. It was all the money he could scrape together. And it worked. The brothers agreed. Now, surprisingly, the brothers didn't even negotiate royalties. Now, yes, supposedly they had a handshake agreement for 1% royalties, but it was never honored. And if it was, they'd be earning about $600 million per year today. But no, they just walked away with a flat check. No logo rights, no revenue sharing, no royalties, no more say in the brand, and no more rights to the McDonald's name. Ray Kroc took everything, and he didn't waste time. Immediately, Ray opened a new McDonald's right across the street from the original San Bernardino's location. Yeah, brutal. And, of course, it crushed the brothers. Now, with the brothers out of the picture, Ray tightened control and went to hyper-growth mode. Stores were carbon copies of each other. The speedy service system became gospel, and every fry, burger, and napkin were now standardized. And just like that, McDonald's transformed from a West Coast burger joint into a national franchise machine. He even introduced a new visual identity, the golden arches, which became the symbol of speed, consistency, and quality. By the late 1960s, McDonald's wasn't just another American success story. It was becoming a global brand, exactly what Ray Kroc envisioned from the start. Now, the first stop was Canada in 1967. Now, yes, this is right across the border, but it was a major test for international operations. Next came Costa Rica, Australia, Japan, the Netherlands, Panama, Germany, France, and many, many more. And by 1990, they cracked the unthinkable, the Soviet Union. Picture this, Moscow, 1990. Over 30,000 people are waiting outside of this McDonald's, the first in their country. But it's not just any McDonald's. It was the world's largest McDonald's at the time. Now, the cool thing about McDonald's is that it wasn't just copying and pasting American culture and placing it in a different country. They were localizing. They were adapting. They were listening. McDonald's wants to move to India. Well, no beef or pork here. Sorry. Well, McDonald's doesn't take no for an answer. They introduced the Michelob Tiki, a spicy potato burger, and the McPaneer Royale, both massive hits. In Japan, you'll find the teriyaki McBurgers, ebi fillets, and matcha-flavored desserts. And in Israel, many restaurants are kosher, and some locations even close on the Sabbath. By the early 2000s, McDonald's had stores in over 100 countries, serving millions of people a day in over 50 languages. And yes, every new market brought new challenges, cultural, political, dietary, but they also brought new opportunities. Now, most people think McDonald's makes their money from burgers, and they're not wrong. They make billions of dollars a year from their burgers, fries, and milkshakes. But actually, here's the twist. McDonald's is not a burger company. It's a real estate company. From day one, Ray Kroc understood something that most people didn't. If you can control the land, you control the brand. So instead of just franchising the business model, Ray created the Franchise Realty Corporation, a separate company that bought the land underneath every new McDonald's. And here's how it worked. 1. McDonald's buys the land for a new location. 2. A franchisee pays the bill and run the restaurant. 3. The franchisee pays rent and a cut of the profits to McDonald's. Even if the franchisee fails, McDonald's still owns the land, still collects the rent, and still wins. Now, Ray Kroc once said, "I'm not in the hamburger business. I'm in the real estate business." And he meant it. As of today, McDonald's owns or controls more than $30 billion worth of real estate, putting it amongst the largest commercial landlords in the world. We're talking prime locations on major highways, shopping districts, tourist hotspots, and downtown intersections. This model gave McDonald's something incredibly rare in the restaurant world: stable cash flow, long-term leverage, and protection against economic downturns. So while competitors were riding the boom and bust cycle of food trends, McDonald's was just collecting rent, no matter what was trending. Even when food sales dipped, the rent kept rolling in. For decades, McDonald's was an unstoppable force. But critics started asking tough questions. Was McDonald's fueling the obesity epidemic? Were they underpaying workers and blocking unions? And did their global expansion exploit cheap labor and harm local food cultures? Many people started wondering. And then came the knockout punch. Super Size Me, 2004. Morgan Spurlock's viral documentary showed him eating only McDonald's for 30 days, and as a result, he showed significant health decline, and it stirred global concerns. For the first time, McDonald's wasn't seen as family-friendly or fun. They were seen as greasy, unhealthy, and outdated. So, McDonald's as a whole corporation, they had to pivot hard, and they did just that. They introduced healthier options like salads, apple slices, grilled chicken, wraps, smoothies, and low-calorie drinks. They also did McCafe, a full coffee and pastry lineup designed to compete with Starbucks, launched first in Australia and then globally. They partnered with services like Uber Eats and built rewards programs and began rolling out eco-friendly packaging, straw bans, and energy-efficient store designs. And in places like France, Germany, and the UK, McDonald's did something even more exceptional. They rebranded their restaurants to look like sleek, modern Euro cafes, with wood paneling, leather seats, and latte art. They also leaned into localizing more than ever, featuring regional dishes, cultural holidays, and collaborations with local celebrities, so like Travis Scott meals in the United States, Pokemon-themed Happy Meals, and special Lunar New Year menus in Asia. Today, McDonald's is more than fast food. It's a symbol of globalization. They've served over 300 billion burgers, employed millions, and influenced everything from agriculture to city planning. You can go almost anywhere in the world and find the same fries, the same Big Mac, and the same ketchup packets. Now that level of consistency? It's not luck. It's empire-level planning. So while the Romans built their empire through military logistics and efficiency, and the Dutch East India Company built theirs through spice and warships, McDonald's built theirs through burgers, franchising, and real estate. They're one of the few brands that you can see globally, from Times Square to Tokyo. Now, is this terrifying or genius? Let me know in the comments down below. And until then, I'm Evan, and thanks for watching. If you liked what you just saw, then click on the video here. Also, if you haven't, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos.